What up, though, everybody? This is another episode of the Pop Culture 223 podcast. This is season 2, episode 7. I got a special guest here. Like I said, we keep kind of bring people on the show to inform, educate, and train.
Yes, sir.
We all about the community, pushing out the education, talking, gun stuff, culture, and everything. So I got a big homie here. I'm going to let him introduce himself. His name is Spencer. He is from Firearms Legal Protection. So we're going to dive into the Firearms Legal Protection, what it covers, and, just a lot of game he's going to give to you today. So I'm going to let Spencer introduce himself. So go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Spencer Johnson here with Firearms Legal Protection. The director of sales, man, and, like KJ was saying, just want to push the education piece on everybody, help people get trained, not only physically, mentally, emotionally, but on that financial side as well, man. So I appreciate y'all having me on here today.
That's what's up, brother.
Listen, so I'm going to put this out there. 1997 state championships, Bishop Borges High School basketball. You didn't think I could hoop, so all-American, all-state point guard. I'm in the history books. If you ask around about KGZ, they'll let you know.
He said 97.
97 state champs, 98 Capital League champs. Operation Friendship, Cat Tech. We did a lot of things. So shout out to my Borges alum out there. Yeah, boy, good. So look, we got him here today, man. Like I said, I've been really with the schedule. He a busy man, so I've been really trying to get him on here because I think that the education, the information he's going to give today is going to help a lot of people that didn't even know. Like my mama was like, "Well, who y'all having on today?" I was like, "My man Spencer from Firearm Legal Protection." He saw that CPL. I said, "Yeah, that's CPL insurance." She had 50 questions. I'm like, dang. So one question, I like, man, I'm gonna ask that question, once we get going in here, just because, like I said, she was interested in it, but I think everybody should have the insurance because, like, you got car insurance, you got homeowner insurance, just in case something happens. Yeah. And when it comes to this situation, if you have to protect yourself or protect your family, I know, like, we all talk about training, shooting, and all that, but what happens when a situation happens that you have to protect yourself? What financial repercussions is it going to be on your family? Mm-hmm. Now, if it's a justified or whatever it is, like, what is it going to be? Mm-hmm. So Spencer's here to jump into that a little bit. We gonna play the what if game a little bit. We're gonna talk some scenarios a little bit, but I got one question for you, Spence.
What up, though?
When you first got your CPL license to carry, what kind of gun did you buy?
The Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0.
Thank God.
FDE one.
Thank God you didn't say High Point.
Nah. Them ain't even good paperweights, though.
What's your go-to rifle?
That's a good question. It just kind of depends on what I feel like shooting that day.
What's your baby?
Oh, I got it. My first ever one was a Smith & Wesson one. It was a Smith & Wesson M&P. It was a 5.56 rifle, and I just fell in love with it. I know it's not the best one, but that was my first one.
That would do work.
Low key though, I had an Anderson I bought from Gun Barnes too. Mm-hmm. It was like $600, $600. Mm-hmm. The homie saw like I guess at that time I could have bought a Daniel. I bought that one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I bought it, shot it like a couple times to start building my own. Yeah. And then just left it there and then just upgraded. So I guess I kind of started off on the low end, cheap end of rifles.
Yeah, we all do, man. I tricked it out. Got some extra attachments we ain't gonna talk about on there. But that one's real cool, man. I got one of them FN DMRs that go crazy. Just kind of to figure out whatever you want to shoot that day, man.
And also, Spencer said he a sports head. So, what you think the Lions gonna do this year?
They'll get in the playoffs for sure. I'm a Saints fan. I'm gonna put that out there, man.
Know ya,
yes, sir.
No, yeah.
But I like Lions. They doing something real beautiful, man. I think Dan Campbell gonna get them boys together. The division ain't what it used to be, so I think the playoffs right now. I looked at the Super Bowl odds. Funny enough, they like top 10 Super Bowl odds. It's like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I just like the fact that we're in commercials now. Like you see NFL stuff, you see little clips and stuff that we do.
More Lions.
Yeah, before it's like
a little clip here just because they got to put all the teams in type of stuff.
Right. Yeah. So also too, Spence brought us some Firearms Legal Protection swag. We got our hats on today. Swag. You know what I'm saying? We out here with it. But look, so let's just jump right into it. So what is Firearms Legal Protection?
We're a membership-based organization. We just want to protect you after you protect yourself. One thing you said out there was, insurance, man. My big thing with insurance, we'll be transparent here. We all hate it. Car insurance, things like that. I think,
Mm-hmm.
Respectfully, it's the biggest legal scam in the country. We need it, but you got car insurance. I've been paying a couple $100 a month since I was 16 years old.
Right.
No tickets, no accidents, right? In my head, I get into a accident on Merriman and Ford Road. You need to bring me a new car at that point because I done gave you at least 10 cars worth of payments by now.
Right. Right.
Now I got to sit there and fight with claims and then pay that deductible. And I don't know about y'all, but my deductible high because I want to keep the monthly payments down. You feel me?
Just did it.
And then guess what happens? Your rates go up and then you got to fight and fuss. Like, we don't got to do all that. With us, we try to make it real simple. You give us a call, attorney answers, and we on the way to you right away.
That's
Okay,
what's up.
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Sir.
So look, what type of situations or what's all covered under firearms legal protection? It's like,
Yeah.
as far as like red, they got the big thing with these red
Oh, my
flag
God,
laws
yeah.
and just jump into that a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm going to throw a little bit of shade real quick, man. Make sure whatever company y'all deal with, right? You check that contract. A lot of people say they cover red flag laws. I put $100 on this table right now. You find it with your company and they contract. I bet you can't find red flag laws in there. I'll throw a little bit of shade real quick. But ask yourself these two questions. Are you in legal possession of whatever weapon you use? And are you in self-defense? If you answer yes to both of those, we're going to cover you.
Got you.
So, it's kind of broad, but we kind of want to keep it like that. So the name is Firearms Legal Protection, but we do cover you for any legal use of force, right? So let me ask y'all fellas something. Even though this will never happen, let's say you get caught lacking, you ain't got your gun with you, what would you use to defend yourself if trouble was to arise?
Whatever's close.
I'm about to say whatever I can get my hands on.
Right. Let's have an imagination.
Outside of my hands, but whatever
Outside
I
of
get
my
my hands
hands,
on.
yeah.
What's say why outside of your hands? We cover that.
Yeah.
Spoon. I'm gonna be like Riddick.
Wrong,
Right.
Riddick.
I'm gonna use this
Look,
cup.
I just
Sharpen
got
that
done
boy
watching
on the-
John Wick, bro. You know that number 2
Right.
pencil?
Using
go
them
crazy?
pencils, dog.
Number 2, we ain't playing cracks no more in classroom breakers.
It's Sunday, right? Let's shout out the Reverend Al Green.
Right.
We've covered hot
Right.
grits before, bro. That's
Right.
a weapon.
Right.
You feel me? Flamethrower. Even though in Michigan,
said
pets
hot
are considered
grits.
property. Oh, yeah, we got some crazy stories. Even though pets are considered property in Michigan, man, we cover pets as weapons as well.
So does the plans and coverage vary depending on state to state, area to area, or is just across the board?
Yeah, so first plan is a basic individual plan. You guys going to get some special pricing for your viewers. We'll talk about that later. But the basic individual plan, $10 a month, covers you in your state with uncapped attorney fees. So the beautiful thing with us, we got 2,500 attorneys across the nation. They all have a minimum 7 years experience. Now, the great thing about that is these guys live, breathe gun laws, right? There's no shade to the people that just walk across the stage with law school. Congratulations, but nobody really want that when their life is on the line, right? All our attorneys, we live, we breathe guns. They literally hang out with judges. They know prosecutors.
Right.
We go, as judges, who do you respect in your courtroom? We ask prosecutors, who do you hate going against?
Right.
And most importantly, we ask these attorneys, we get a call at 3 o'clock in the morning, when are you going to be out the door? If the answer isn't 3:02, you ain't part of our network.
Right.
To think of us kind of like the Jimmy Johns of attorneys, man. So,
What's up?
I ain't gonna share too much information, but it's a local range around here, Center Mass, right? One of the guys had to use us. Unfortunately, he was downtown Detroit. Y'all know how that get down. We had an attorney out there to him in 27 minutes.
That's what's up.
Right, 2 o'clock in the morning, man. So, first,
So that's ASAP.
oh yeah, like yesterday, bro. Because
ASAP.
a lot
That's
of
what
these
we
Yesterday, I needed them like
Yeah, bro.
yesterday.
Like nobody want to be sitting in jail, waiting for your attorney to get there maybe on Monday, because Michigan holds you up to
Right.
72 hours.
Right.
We in Wayne County right now. They're notorious for holding people 71 hours, 58 minutes.
Now,
Right.
now, what does that
Easy.
compare to another insurance?
Some people say that they need paperwork to get that attorney sent out to you. They need something formally submitted in writing because they are insurance, per their contract. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm not making no statements under duress. Human anatomy says, that adrenaline dump, you're not supposed to make a statement for 72 hours. So now you want me to put something in writing to get my attorney out here? No, I'm straight.
So you also you are a CPL instructor, right?
Yep, I'm NRA certified, USCCA certified as well.
So when you in your class and you teaching, your students, it's kind of like best of both worlds because you kind of giving them because we all talk about we want to get to the range and Barry, he said, hey, I can give me the information, I can train a monkey, right? But when you definitely know the information, you can give it to them where they can understand it. Because when we talk at the end, we talk about. I don't know how many people get into it, but when you start talking about how to answer a phone or how to call a police officer, we at so funny story.
Anytime
So not funny story, but two guys walked into the bar, right?
Right. You already know how that goes.
So look. Throw shouts out to my man Bear. He was at X last week. He made his second one.
I swear I'm going to the one in October. I swear I'm coming to the one in October, man. As long as I can do it, I'm coming in October.
He went to two.
Okay.
He went to one last in August. He went to one this year in August, right? You saying?
And real quick, I swear, every time I realize today, or after this last one, like, dog, I keep coming to the tune-up match where it's the harder. It's like probably the second hardest match you're going to have all year.
The tune-up match.
That's the one I keep coming to.
The tune-up matches get you ready for CRC Combat Rifle Championship. So the American Association of Tactical Shooters is like the match I go to every second Saturday month. So Barry came out there. He did his thing. But in the safety brief, Brad says, look, when you call the police, don't tell them somebody shot somebody.
No.
Or, don't tell them this. So he gives said it was a training accident because we don't want the black trucks. We need them EMS trucks.
Right.
I do a little bit different on that too, man. So
but I'm just saying, just to give us information, because they say, well, okay, who all new shooters knew to act out here? And people raise their hand. Yeah. But we get that safety brief every second Saturday, every time. So it's always in our head.
Yeah, for sure. So
in the CPL class, you give them that information, to tell them how to talk to police officers on the phone. Because, like you said, once that adrenaline dump, you in panic mode. Yeah. What are you saying?
Right.
Yes, so my background with the whole legal stuff, man. Aside from my regular CPL instructor certifications, I do have my license and certification to teach legal use of force. And I think I'm like one of 10 people in the state with it, man. So when I say I love FLP, of course, man, but this isn't just a job or career. This is a lifestyle for me, man. I want to help save lives from day one, and it doesn't stop at the classroom. So, I tell my people, some people will say, well, yeah, you just say you shoot to stop the threat, using fear for your life. Nah, 911 starts to record after you press that second one. A lot of people don't even know that, right? My one is, hey, there's been a shooting at 123 Main Street. Click, right? What did I say I did on my phone call? Nothing. Right? All you're legally obligated to do is put the incident and the location. And that's it. You hang up, then you call your attorney, you call whoever you got on speed dial, and you good to go right there, right?
Right.
Now, let me ask you just to add to that, and like we said, we're gonna go through it a little bit with comparisons, and not just comparisons of other companies, but just situational, the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I know NRA does things a certain way, USCC everybody got their own little verbiage and things to do.
Make sure y'all get something, man. I'm gonna throw a little shade. I'm pro FLP. I'm a little biased,
right,
but
as you should.
Yeah, get something from somebody, man. I don't care who it is, what you got. Just have a plan.
Right.
Get something.
And my thing is, so how does that differ? How do I want to say this? Make it what as far as how is this making it better to do what you said versus say something and just add a little more sauce to what you said by telling them who I am and the whole, like you said, I had to use my weapon. I fear for my life. How was that better per se versus doing something even that when all you really did there is just add that you had to use your weapon and I'm the guy that's calling you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So with me, man, it's kind of like makeup. Sometimes less is more.
Got you.
You can overdo your foundation. You can overdo your eyeshadow, whatever, and you may think it's better, but it's not. Less is more with me. You're in that situation, and you just shot somebody. You just had to produce your firearm. You had to defend yourself mentally. You're not there, right? I don't know any of you gentlemen have ever been in a situation like that, but it's not fun, right? You think you Billy Badass, and you got your firearm, and you're invincible, and even if you had to produce it, you're going to be shaky, man. So I don't trust myself, and I've been in the community for a long, long time. I don't trust myself to be able to say every single thing right and remember, well, I am a CPL holder or I was in self-defense and it was my attorney going to take care of that. I trust my attorneys. I'm doing everything I'm legally obligated to do because, as you know, there's prosecutors out here that one wrong word, you say, common sense says, you shot and killed somebody. That's what actually happened, but legally speaking, as you shoot to stop the threat, you mix those up and you toast, right? So just less is more to me.
And that's what because I just had one last weekend. That's That's something I preach all the time
Yeah.
because it's like I'm big on, and see, that's one thing I will say, and I give NRA credit for, and this is throwing shade too, but everything is so limited on what they give you as an instructor
Yeah.
to give them because the information is so old and dated
Yeah.
that you wind up more or less, at least I did, in the dude that I come from, lineage wise or whatever, instructing. We basically kind of freaking and made it our own,
For sure.
and the way we kind of taught it was just that, like, yo, and I carry that over to USCCA as well in my instructing
Yeah.
type, and it's like I tell them all the time, like, yo, man, less is more, you know what I'm saying, and then you gotta keep that right where it's at, because the last thing you want to do, you get to talking and I shot him, I ain't mean to kill him, but if it was me or him, so I had to, and the next thing you know, that may be the truth of what happened.
Oh, for sure.
But I tell people it's a gray area.
It is a lot. That's where all the
Everything
attorneys
guns
make
is
their
gray
money.
area. It's in the middle. It's not black or white. It's literally what you say and how. Not to quote Denzel in Training Day, but it's not what you know, is what you can prove. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all of that plays a part to that.
Yeah, and it's the BS of the country in right now. It's not innocent until proven guilty, right? It's guilty until proven innocent. When's the last time you on the freeway, you pass a guy getting surrounded by 6 cop cars, and he's spread eagle on the hood of the car, getting the handcuffs put on him?
Right.
If it's innocent until proven guilty, it's supposed to be, I wonder what that guy is presumed innocent of.
Right.
No, everybody's going, what he do?
Right.
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 And that's the kind of mentality. You're guilty until proven innocent, man. And like I said, I trust my attorneys. So if anything does happen, less is more. I'm not gonna say a lot, and common sense just ain't common, man. So
What's that? The boom, boom, boom.
It don't want to.
It works sometimes. Oh,
There
you
we
gonna
go.
get
I
in
don't
the
know
shots.
why the gun cocking wasn't working though. But there we go. Yeah.
Now, are there limitations to the coverage?
yeah, as long as you're in self-defense and legal possession of whatever weapon you use, you're gonna be good. So you can't go rob a 7-Eleven and be like, "Oh, he pulled a gun on me, so I was in self-defense," right? Nah. As long as you're in legal possession of whatever weapon you use and you're in self-defense, we're gonna make sure we cover you.
Now, when you go on legal firearms legal protection, you see the resources. So like I said, if you want to check it out, go onto the website and everything. But on there, it's like one thing. Some things we're gonna talk about stand out. And I know people want to probably hear like expert witness. How important is the expert witness
Oh
in
my
the situation?
God, I can't tell you.
And how much? Like, cause I know it's fees and stuff. So how much do y'all pay for expert witness?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Don't quote me on it. Well, I guess you gotta quote me on here. Kind of vary state to state, anywhere between $5,000 to $7,500. Right. Having an expert witness is great. So one of our partners is John Correa, right? I don't know if you guys familiar with him. Big YouTube guy.
Yeah. That's my look. I watch a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, that's my homie. So me and him, I'm a big sports guy. I'm a big Bron guy. He's a Jordan guy. So we go back and forth. And
you go back and forth. Yeah.
He's actually shot some of his episodes in my house.
Really?
He'll throw some shade every there. You like Jordan's better than Bron, right? Spence, and I'm just watching it like, oh, okay, cool. I see how it is, John. So big shout out to the guys at Active Self Protection, man. But he's probably one of the country's best expert witnesses, right?
Cover your ass.
Right.
Cover
your ass, right?
Yeah.
And if you want a guy like him that just knows all that gun knowledge and is breaking down so many films, it's gonna cost you a pretty penny, man. So to have the importance of an expert witness and an expert investigator, so we send somebody out to the scene of the crime to verify what happened, right? Police sometimes may miss over clues and stuff like that, and we've had a case, and not going to say name or state or anything like that, but we had a situation where we use our expert investigator or private investigator and it saved the guy, right? One of our members heard glass breaking, right? He heard glass breaking in his home. So what you guys going to do with that point? Grab your firearm, head downstairs, see what's going on. I'm a firm believer if nobody's allowed in my home without my permission, unless they're kicking on my mortgage, but hey, that's just me, right? So he goes down there, sees this big guy in his house. The guy asks him to leave. The guy charges towards him. He handles his business, calls the police. What he did was make a statement. He said, look, man, I heard glass breaking. It woke me up. And honestly, the guy charging me, so what you see is what you get. What the police do. Went around the house and tried to find forced entry. Tried to find glass breaking, anything like that. They didn't find a single piece of glass out the way. So now what does our member look like?
He looked like he was the
he looked like he was aggressive. He was lying, right?
He was lying.
So naturally, the police arrest our guy, right? So our attorney gets there super fast, of course, and he's sitting in there. He's just crying. Oh my God, bro! I'm not crazy. It woke me up. What else will wake me up? It was broken glass. It was broken glass. I swear to God. I swear to you. And he's just freaking out, right? So I want to say a couple hours later, sunrise comes, right? And the guy we sent out there is a private investigator. He pulls up, and the next door neighbor's putting cardboard on his window.
Mm.
He goes up and asks what's going on. He's like, look, I'm a high school principal. I just suspended some kids. They got pissed off, and they threw a brick through my window. That's the glass that he heard that woke him up. Completely coincidental that the guy happened to be. So it probably saved his life, honestly.
Right. To hear that, right.
But it doesn't prove how the guy got in there.
Right.
And so the private investigator goes around. He's checking cameras. He's doing this. He's not finding anything. He's trying to wiggle windows loose, looking through the chimney. He finds nothing. As he walks out, this guy sees that the rug is tilted a little bit, like just a little bit. And he's like, what's the chances of this? Flips the rug out. It rained 2 days before. It's a key imprint there, but no key. He calls the police. Hey, that guy that just got shot in this 123 Main Street shooting. Can you check his pockets and see if there's a key in there? They check his pockets. It's the key. They bring it down, and he found the key under the guy's mat, and that's how he got in. Saved our guy from doing 25 years in prison. So that's how important something like that is, and we cover that payment too.
Now, I'm glad you gave a scenario. So boom, check this out. All right. So this is something else that y'all cover, and he gonna talk about it. So what happens when?
That's deep.
Yeah,
What happens when, let's say, Big Boy John Doe family say, look, I know you got off on I know it was a justified whatever.
Got up on the criminal side.
We got off on the criminal side, but say Big John Doe family say, look, we want to come after that family because of civil. I want to sue them because civil, because I think it was excess use of force. I think everything
excessive use of force. Yep.
Excessive use of force, and he. I don't want to say he might have had a right to be in there or leave,
but at the conclusion you coming to is that Michigan is a civil lawsuit state, more or less. That you can be educated or adjudicated from the criminal, but still have to face civil. Yeah.
Y'all can look at me on camera too. At FLP, we've never lost a civil case. Knock on wood with it.
Okay, but okay, so now the courts got to determine if it's a situation. But I guess what I'm saying, y'all also cover the civil lawsuit against your defendant or your client.
Yeah, correct. And I'm real big on like scenarios too, man. So I'm gonna give y'all a million scenarios if y'all good with that.
Yeah,
I got one written down here, but I'm glad you said something about
real
it.
Quick, how much financial does it cover?
So
or is that limitless as well?
So we cover uncapped attorney fees both criminally and civilly, right? We don't cover like civil losses like other companies. They do something called like we'll give you $1 million of civil liability, right? And I laugh at that, right? The reason I laugh at it is for two reasons, right? If I know that you have $1 million in civil coverage and I'm an attorney and I know you just went through something, me and you gonna sue him and we gonna get after it because we know that he has $1 million. 9 times out of 10, they don't have the attorneys to be able to cover that, or they just want to settle out. So I'm not even going to charge you. I'm going to just take a third of whatever winnings you got. And that's how a lot of these companies operate, right? And with Michigan law, with insurance, right, if you're found guilty, right, that opens up the civil suit. But if you're found not guilty, the chances of you getting sued civilly is like minuscule, right?
Okay.
So you get other companies that say, yeah, well, we'll cover you for civil liability, right? But if you're found guilty and it opens up that civil liability, they can't legally cover you because other companies are insurance. It's great marketing, but they never really say like, hey, how we gonna cover if you're already found guilty? But back to the situation, right? It was what state was this? It was somewhere down south, wherever, right? Our member had to use his force, use some firearm or whatever. The guy that he shot, his baby mama $40,000 of back child support. Baby mama sued our member for taking away her payments, right? Common sense says what? Dude wasn't going to pay that $40,000 anyway. He was $40,000 in the hole. Her statement said he was robbing him to pay me. Of course, we're not going to lose that. But civil suits, as you guys know, are stupid. It's a minimum of $20 to $40 in Michigan or something like that. People are so happy. But we do cover you with uncapped attorney fees, both criminally and civilly as well.
That's what's up. Yep.
So I can't remember if this is right or wrong. This is kind of a comparison, and then so what happens? Let's just say if you lose, do your insurance, do FLP go after the person your clients for the back pay for the money they spent on you?
If we lose,
Yeah. I mean, let's just say,
Or like we lost like a case or something like that. No, so we have uncapped attorney fees. That's win, lose, or draw. Whether you use $1 or $1 million, whether you shoot one person or 10 people. Now you shoot 10 people, I'm gonna call y'all personally, right? But
It's for real,
bro.
some John Wick stuff here.
hey, move the studio, bro.
Right.
Like it's not good.
What really happened?
Yeah,
Right.
what really is going on?
Yeah, but when I say uncapped attorney fees, dude, I mean that win, lose, or draw. You'll never see a single penny of an attorney fee. Other companies.
I'm about to say that's what's up because I've heard that other companies, if you get you do get
They have a recruitment clause.
criminally charged and guilty, they do try to recruit that.
Because they are insurance and they cannot legally cover you for that. So they have a recoupment clause in there. So let's paint a scenario real quick, right? Again, whenever y'all have me in your class, you see I do this with your classes all the time. Let's say you do everything right in the shooting and you're nervous and you make a bad 911 phone call. Man, because everybody thinks I was in fear for my life is a magic words, right? When it's not. I shot and killed somebody else in fear for my life. I was in self-defense, blah, 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 right? And you get arrested. Now they're trying to charge you for manslaughter because you had an admission for manslaughter, right? Now let's say you get a good prosecutor or a good judge, and they're like, you know what, KJ, you're great at what you do. You're a pillar in the community. You do podcasts. You promote gun safety. You did make a bad 911 phone call, so they're gonna try to press towards trial for this manslaughter charge, right? However, this is a good timing. I know you personally. Let's give you a slap on the wrist right now. Let's charge you with discharging your firearm within city limits. You can keep your CPL. You pay a $500 fine. You can take that, or you can go to trial and risk going for 25 years. What you gonna do?
Take the plea.
Take the plea, right? You have to plead guilty to take that plea.
Right.
So once you plead guilty,
There's a guilty
now
plea
you
on
want to
your
look for all
record.
those attorney fees.
Right.
And one thing about FLP too, we do cover expungements as well. So
That's what's up.
That was another question. Like,
So wait a minute now, because I know a bunch of people. I don't say a bunch of people, but I know people that have gone through.
bro. Am I safe in here, bro?
I mean, I wasn't always just clean cut. Now the bear wasn't always on the straight and narrow. I know some people. There's some people I have from everywhere, but I know people, man, that's have gone through that and had to be down there. I don't mind telling my story. I've been there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Many years ago. But my question is, how does that work for you all? Do you help with that in the process of that, helping with expungement, or do you guys just cover that, or how do you guys?
Yeah.
What's your association with helping out with expungement? I just want you to expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna do whatever we can to help you out. Every state, every county is different, man. We're gonna get as hands on as we need to. The only thing we're not super hands on with is trying to get your firearm back.
Okay.
Because it's headaches with that, a lot of time consumption. So how we operate with the firearm confiscation payment is if you don't get it back within 6 months, we cut you a check up to $1,000 to replace it. Right, that is about as hands off as we are.
Gotcha.
Because we all know you ain't getting that thing back.
Right,
You
right.
might as well just wait.
Especially if it's in Wayne, you would say Wayne County, especially if it's in Detroit.
Yeah, Wayne County has like a less than a 0.5% chance you getting that firearm back.
Really?
I think I've met like 2 or 3 people to get it back, but they said they had to wait years and years
Oh,
and
yeah,
years. And
yeah.
by the time you get it back, it's not even usable. It's not like
Right.
they're back there cleaning it and stuff like that. But when it comes to like that expungement, man, whatever we can do to help out, get an attorney sent down there, we're gonna of course cover those fees and just get anything taken off your record. Especially if it's a plea deal like that and you plead guilty to a gun charge. It might not let you renew your CPL, might not let you buy a firearm, but we're going to get that expunged off your record for you.
That's what's up.
No, and maybe I heard this wrong. You said like the other comparison, they are an insurance. So what's the difference between the FLP and like USCCA as far you said because they can't cover you like insurance?
See the smile.
Well, I guess because you said they
so
they legally can't cover you because of insurance or you kept
if you're
seeing
found guilty, that's why they had that recoupment clause. So many years ago, I was an insurance agent, right, for Farm Bureau, right. And the good thing about me, man, I can back up whatever I say. I have my insurance license, and I'm thinking about 20 states.
Okay.
Because if I ever need to do anything like that, especially like Florida, Tennessee, Maryland, things like that. With insurance laws in a lot of these states, man, it gets real nasty. You can't legally cover somebody. That's like when people try to argue with me, well, my homeowner insurance will cover this and da-da-da. I was like, no, insurance considers this an intentional act, right? You pulling that trigger is an intentional act. And if you're found guilty, like you're in the wrongdoing of something, then they're not going to cover you. Think about it, car insurance probably about like 10 years ago before the no-fault thing came out, right? If you were at fault, you were paying. If you weren't at fault, you sue the person who was at fault and they have to pay, right?
And they pay back.
Right, and that's the same thing. If you're at fault, Legally,
They can't. So your homeowners, and that's a question my mom had.
yeah. See,
But
look, I heard it all.
mom dudes is like, hey, so does my homeowners insurance cover me? I like it may cover you if you're in the house. Like if something happened now, is that like do homeowners insurance usually cover you if it's something happen like that?
No, not that I've heard. I mean, people sometimes have like umbrella policies or something like that where they have like $1 million of like just protection, quote unquote, under an umbrella policy. But again, you're dealing with insurance, and who wants to deal with insurance?
Right.
You just said you just got in a situation with your car. What kind of headache has that been
Right.
for you?
So I, straight one off because I've had other ones that wasn't, but
Yeah.
I thought this was gonna be a headache, but it wound up being that the person that hit me actually had the same insurance I did.
Oh, you
So-
lit then.
So it worked out. No, if I told you the smile and the dance I did at work when I found that out, I was like, dog, because it was like, okay, what they basically said was because of it, I was going to pay my deductible at the dealership at the body shop,
Yep.
and then basically they was going after them with
It's like mini tort court.
mini tort,
Yep.
and they was going to try to have them basically pay me back for my deductible.
Yep. $1,000 for me.
Right, same. Mine's a G. So look up, and I'm like, hey, so you filed that? I'm hitting my, my claims adjuster. You hit that up, blah blah blah, this, that, and third. Whatever happened with that, and then they insurance and blue whoop. She says, oh yeah, come to find out, they with us too. So instead of having you do this and do that, we just gonna shoot you this check.
Oh, that's lit.
I'm like, bet
Love that for you. Bro.
that worked out cool because it was a timeline of my car, the truck was gonna be done by the 16th and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, look, I can drop this G, but I'm gonna need that back. How soon can I?
Exponentially, bro.
Can I get that back? How soon can we? You know what I'm saying? We talking about a band right here.
Hey, I need that exponentially.
Right,
Get on here.
right. We talking about a band here. We talking about a couple hundred.
Exponentially.
So I'm like, all
Matter
right.
of fact, throw a little bit of interest on that for me.
Right.
Y'all would have did it to me too.
Right. So, but she shot the check real quick though. So I'm like, cool. But I know from the process, from the way she was explaining it, and just other cases before and stuff like that with cars, how tough that can be though.
Oh yeah, that's why.
How the process of what that, because their insurance got to talk to their insurance, and they got to give their rebuttal or this, that, and third, and blah blah blah.
So yeah, I used to work with insurance, man. I love the company I was with. The guy I was with is like family, looking at him like a father, man. But I didn't have a passion for it. I didn't believe in it. But I saw so many loopholes and people getting screwed over, and that's why I'm just like with the whole insurance thing, like. In this state, I'll be transparent. FLP classifies as insurance, but we operate the same in every state.
Gotcha.
So states like Maryland, we're technically insurance. When I go out there, I sell. We're technically insurance, but we still follow our membership rules and guidelines because we're a membership organization,
Gotcha.
like a country club for gun owners.
Gotcha.
So I know y'all both. I'm a CPL instructor too, but y'all probably do a little bit more than me. So what? Like, how many you get to? Let's play the what if game. Like, how many times y'all get to cut your students like, hey, what if?
Oh, listen, if it
Oh,
was
man.
a fifth, I'd have alcohol
Man.
poisoning, man.
Man.
Hey, what
Man.
if Ray J and them called me and said, hey, bring the thumper over here because your sister's getting whooped up or da-da-da-da-da, and they come over and like what if? Am I
Hey,
covered
what's
if
the-
I roll up and slide on somebody? Like, what if?
Dog.
I'll play the what if game with y'all under one condition. Y'all tell me the craziest what if question you've ever had, and I'll tell you mine. We see who got the worst one.
You gonna have to go. Because
I think the wildest and because of who it is in the situation.
well, okay,
I can't tell the full, but I'll say this. So it was a what if of, let's just say this person's clean, but they was in is it okay? What if I'm in this spot, and this spot is not quite the cleanest of places, but you know people. I ain't gonna say it's a trap house because it ain't a trap house, but you know what I'm saying.
What's going on in the wall?
You in some of them places, and you like, what if this, that, and the third, and the police
what
come
if I
in,
was in the trap house, Spencer?
and the police come in. It's a camera right there. The who? Oh,
I'm on
the
the
cup.
cup.
Nigga. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Authentic Dre is in the building.
I think the J just bust in like he owned the damn
right.
place.
Hold on.
She busting the door. Said it before.
I would just wave you up real quick because it was a camera right there. I want you to knock it down. Yeah.
Fall.
But yeah. So
I
you
want
know,
to deal with that phone insurance.
so you in the spot that's not the greatest of spots. You legit, but what happens when the police just break in to raid the joint and you got your gun on you? And I'm like, hey man, look, you might want to have a spot where you can at least just throw that boy for right now or something, because he's going down in the first place. You legit, but you do what you gotta do, brother.
like,
as long as you legit. No, and of course it was the other question was, and I've been drinking, so I'm sitting.
Yeah.
So I'm like, look, dog, that's where the whole you might not want to have it on your person came to be. I'm like, if
It's
you been,
almost like they got to re-script CPL license and insurance for black folks. Like, real, like I'm sorry to say that, bro, because I get more crazy crazy question phone calls than like the what if. So I was in my homegirl class. So the guy was like, during USCCA, you do the presentation, and then they had like the car, like the parking lot. Don't you know how they do this description of the parking lot, like where you supposed to walk around and like dark places, Dude was like, so what if I'm walking by and I hear gunshots in there and things going on? Can I just run in there and
I'm Batman.
Right, I'm just like, and I'm in the class sitting.
Run up in there and be Jason Bourne.
Right, Jason. He said, so what if I hear it? Can I run in there? And I'm just like,
you put yourself in danger.
Why would you run into a situation that has nothing to do with you? Now, if you walking in and you walk into your car and something pop off, I get it. But I'm not walking by here gunfire and then you running and you don't know who is what.
Man.
So I think I got y'all beat. It was this lady, I want to say about 4 years ago. I was doing a class of like Center Mass or something like that. Shout out to them guys at Center Mass. Literally, in the state of Michigan, your pets are considered property, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, well, this older lady, well, I have no kids, so Fluffy, my little Yorkie, that's my baby. I'm like, okay, ma'am, look, I understand, but by Michigan guidelines, you can't do that. But that's my baby. I've had her for so long. She's like my emotional support animal. One of those, right?
Right.
And I said, man, it got to the point. I'm like, this is between you and the prosecutor. You can only use, lethal force, imminent fear of great bodily harm, death, others, or criminal sexual conduct, otherwise known as rape, right? So about 30 seconds goes by, and she does one of these. I'm like, ma'am. She said, well, what if somebody's raping my dog? I'm like, bro, what am I supposed to do with that, bro?
Did somebody just on Channel 4 News or something?
Yes.
Dog, yeah, you beat that.
And Taylor got hit with committing sexual acts to an animal.
So hear me out.
Beastly, whatever it is.
That is my bestiality, yeah.
Bestiality, yeah.
That is my icebreaker when I go to class. Like, hey, look, there's no such thing as a dumb question except for this.
Right.
And the girl in the front literally said, my friend just got popped for that. And I started laughing. I said, bro, you're BSing. I said, look, here, take my phone, find the link. Found the link in the middle of class. I almost pissed myself laughing, bro.
Wow.
Literally. So there's a serial dog rapist on the loose apparently out here. So.
Wow.
Hey, you on your own, Tank. That's the name of my dog.
I got a little Yorkie. Izzy, look, she 8 pounds.
Yeah. Hey, you on your own, Tank.
She threw. Y'all remember that? What's that? Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, a little Pomeranian.
Hey, somebody want to take advantage of my dog, my bully.
Some sick niggas out here, boy.
Hey, you on your own on that one, homie. You on your own on that one.
That's a little what-if game we playing, man.
Yeah, it's just because you be in the class and they be like, what if? And I'm just like, there's no possible way you can answer every what if question.
Right.
Right? Just go to what, if your life is in imminent danger, your loved one or family is in imminent danger, boom, stop there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, after that is, okay, well, how am I going to explain this?
Yeah.
I was like, they also tell you what? It's only going to be one story, right?
Right.
You can't have a bunch of people telling stories, then, hey, make sure it's only one story. However you take that, you take that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, what if he's in my house? He did? I said, listen, it's only going to be one story. So, however you know what I'm saying, you cut dry that one, that's on you.
Man,
I'm not a lawyer.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Get FLP.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Get the insurance.
Dude, y'all listeners, email, text, whatever in, bro. Next time I'm on here, we can read through all the what ifs, man. If y'all got any what if questions, send it into these guys.
It's like, we podcast is still on the evolution. So
hey, but when you post them on IG, leave us a so that means you got to put that in the comments or in the thing too. Leave us them comments, then what else? Make them a little quick. And same thing on the YouTube. Leave us them what else, and we'll go back through next time we have.
So look,
Spencer
we're gonna
come
play
on
the
and
what
do
if
that.
game.
Yeah.
So when I record, I post it. Look, just put your comments in. I'm gonna post it like what if.
How do we just start?
Right.
What if?
New segment.
New segment. What if we gonna read?
Shout out
we
to
gonna read
Spencer.
them on the
Wednesday.
show.
Shout out to Spencer with the new segment. You know,
Hey,
I like
man,
that
listen,
though. I like
What
that
if
though.
Wednesdays, bro?
Listen, he killed me with the. Hey, what if my dog didn't rape?
Dog.
What if? Yeah, what are you doing? Who like it? I'm asking, like, who like it better?
So I started playing along with it, bro, because I was getting irritated. I'm like, well, did your dog consent to it? How much peanut butter was on the side of the bed stand? Like, I just kept playing with it, bro.
God,
Everybody
that's
was dying
wild,
laughing,
man.
bro.
That's wild.
Man, listen.
That's wild.
So I know.
Hey, but I'm gonna tell you though, you got the right attorney, dog. They can still spin that to how you felt threatened that you was next and all kind of crazy. It just depends on.
He told me to sit down and watch it. I was scared. I froze.
I was at gunpoint.
I was at gun.
I couldn't do anything.
Someone was pointing at me.
Like when he was climaxing, I reached for my firearm. That's when I got him.
So look, during what you do, traveling like, do you get a lot of time for just go out on training and shooting? Like, is that?
Yeah.
Or are you just too busy?
Nah, man, you got to make time. You got to be proficient, man. Like, one of my favorite things is my draw time, man. So, especially with me traveling to so many places, I don't have time to be maybe not the most accurate, but I got my draw time, draw from concealment, 2 shots downrange, and 0.9 seconds flat. So I think like the FBI got it at like 1.5, average civilians are like 2.1, so I got mine down to 0.9. That's my big flex.
Any like say anything at like 1.5 or you solid.
No,
you know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? Like you can, it's always and
this Mr. 0.4.5 splits over here. So,
me and him gonna have to get after it then.
So he good with it.
Hey man, listen, man. Let me just say that staccato shoot itself. I'm just there for the ride, bro.
You want that Colt, bro?
No, I mean I run my M&P like that. It's just that.
Him and Sinister, they the staccato boys. That's what I call them.
Staccato boys.
But I'll say this though. He can do it with his M&P too, though. I don't know if he quite as quick with the M&P, but
hey, they call me Mr. Double Tap sometimes.
I
double triple tap.
I just know, man. I was there and it was like
Hey,
all of us was back there, like to the point where man, the RSO was so impressed. He was like, "Hey, man, you want to see these splits?"
Yeah, he did say that.
Hey, that's lit. So I take a class. You guys know Lynn Woods.
Yeah, I mean, I was up there. I was up there.
Yeah, so Lynn Woods has a great class at the range, man. That we used to deal with. Lynn Woods does a phenomenal job at these next step classes, man. So he literally caught next step classes from next step 1 all the way up to 4. 1 starts at the smokeless range and this basic accuracy. 1, you're drawing your pistol. 2, you're moving around with your pistol. 3 is you're moving like carbines, and 4, you're literally swapping from pistol to carbine. So it's a great class, man.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's like I said, the Scotto just shoot itself, man. Like I just stand back and just take it off safety and I just take it off safety and let it go. 3, 2, 1, lock and load, buzzer, boop.
You gonna make me get a staccato.
I just go, man.
Colty, ain't it, bro? It's like a Colt. Like you don't have a staccato. You're beneath me, peasants.
It's what it's
and it's not just it's a 2011 thing. Period.
Yeah. John Wick killed it.
But it is this, so it's a culture within the culture. So you got the 2011 crew.
Yeah.
So if you show up with a Prodigy or what's the other one? What's the other one? Not staccato.
They got one that's like real expensive.
Yeah.
It's an alien one like that.
You talking about Infinity one?
I think and it's another company too to make. But the point is, like, you got them 2011 groups, so it's like if you ain't shooting 2011, you ain't shooting. Yeah. But then within that group is if you ain't shooting staccato, like you said, if you ain't staccato,
XC or whatever the 5. Yeah.
Oh, you don't have a staccato. You just got a regular 2011.
And staccatos done went up crazy, but like last year, they was about $2,000. They up to like 35 right now.
Some of them.
It all depends. Yeah,
some of them 4.
Yeah. I had a couple people just sell staccatos to people, doubled on their profit, and just get a brand new one. I'm just like, I feel you, bro.
Yeah, I got a partner, and he had 2, and matter of fact, he sold both of the Sand Vipers. He had the
Sand Viper.
He had a Sand Viper. Then he had
that's like a 6-man gun.
He had a Sand Viper,
Pit Viper,
and then the Pit Viper.
Yeah,
both of them. So he sold the Sand Viper because he had the Pit. Which one's the small? The Pit. He had whatever one. He sold one to get it.
That's the big one. Yeah.
Okay, so he sold the other one, but he keep them.
So that bought 2 regular staccatos.
Listen, let me tell you something, man. I shot a pit viper when I was in South Carolina training, and the guy next to me had it, right? Because I go to these ranges, everybody's, oh, you just a sales guy. You don't really know nothing about this. Okay, I'm real paid. Put your money up, bro.
Right,
Like,
right,
what you got in your pocket right now? Let's bet, right?
right.
That's how I earn my little respect kind of traveling around, because there are a lot of people that can't shoot and don't even have CPLs, that I know of personally. But we ain't going to get into that. But I shot a pit viper, and I'm like, there's no way this gun worth $7,000. There's no way. There's no way.
Right.
I purposely tried to miss, and whatever dynamic of the gun, it drops it right down. I tried to miss. I tried to have a bad grip, and my grouping of 10 shots at 10 yards was still like this.
Damn.
And I was trying to miss, and it was just that gun might be worth $10,000.
Damn.
I literally was just sitting there like, okay, if I sell this gun, my second kidney,
Hey, you go home. You go home, make a strategic plan. Like, hey, how can I get this staccato in my hand? But but that's kind of like kudos. That's kind of like kudos to you, because like you talk it. You first of all, you're a CPL instructor.
Yeah.
You're an insurance instructor, and then you go to these events and go to different places. And when you shoot and show them, like, look, I believe in my product. I can teach this product, and I also can go out here on this range and shoot with you. That makes you more transparent to people to look and say, oh man, he a real opposed to he do this, and you know what I'm saying. Like even with the Pop Culture 223 podcast, right? Like we do this. Like
for sure.
If I'm not here, believe me, I've already been outside at the range running, training, shooting, just whatever. So like, it's kind of like hands-on experience, or we in the culture, we live the culture. You know what I'm saying? So that's kudos to you go out there and teach people and they listening. Oh, he's not just a salesman. No, he passionate about this. You know what I'm saying? He live the culture, and you know what I'm saying. So he can try to give you the best product, and he's making sure that the competitor's product, I'm going to tell you the ins and outs and tell you why ours is better. You know what I'm saying?
Still, and push you to those guys if you don't go with us. Like I said, lots of competition between us and USCCA for sure. And there's other companies out there. But if you don't sign up with us, bro, like, please get somebody, bro.
So let me ask you this. We could do, I thought, the comparison, like, what's a big, like, difference between you and them? I guess besides, if USCCA, they kind of like insurance and like training. Yeah. And I know me and you had a conversation.
Great training.
You remember me and you had a conversation. Y'all more lean on the protecting, the insurance part.
That's what we are. Yeah, 1,000%. So USCCA, I'm a USCCA instructor. They got the best training out, right? So far, right? We get some stuff coming down the pipeline we talked about earlier, but USCCA got some great training. But they got their eggs in multiple baskets.
Right.
We just focus specifically on the legal aftermath thing. That's what we specialize in. The biggest difference that we have is literally the moment you call us, right? We have an attorney that answers the phone 24/7. Why is that so important?
Shit happens anytime.
Shit happens anytime, but most importantly, that attorney-client privilege. Right? You call 911 and say you shot and killed somebody, you toast.
Right.
If you get off the phone, there's been a shooting at 123 Main Street. I'm low-key terrified, y'all. If I ever shoot somebody in self-defense, I'm going to actually say 123 Main Street, because I actually train like that. Yeah, right? I'm going to be sitting at the address like, well, yeah, he said he was at 123 Main Street.
Right.
But,
there's no 123 Main Street.
Right?
Right. Where is that?
But when it comes to like that first phone call with us, right, that attorney answers the phone, you can say, oh, my God, FLP, I shot and killed 5 people. I buried 4 bodies. What I do with the 5th? That stays with us, right?
That's another one of them crazy what ifs,
bro, for real. So then our attorneys are gonna say, "Put down the shovel," and we like the Jimmy Johns of attorneys. We're gonna get to you right away.
Right.
As opposed to the other guys, they have a critical response specialist, right? Highly trained person, very highly trained. It's not an attorney. It's not an attorney, bro. You don't have that attorney-client privilege. They can get subpoenaed. They can go to court, and if they're under oath, they have the choice between lying under oath or trying to protect you. What do you think is going to happen, right? And then we send that attorney out right away. You don't need anything submitted in writing, right? And, I'm not going off of bias. Don't take my word for it. Read our contract, read their contract. And, they need something submitted in writing. We're going to get to you right away.
Let me ask you this, too. That and it's not per se comparison, but just in a can you do type of thing, I guess. So let's say something happens. I use the service. I call in. The attorney comes. They get, I talk to them, blah, blah, blah. Do I have to keep using you as attorney, or can I then go to my attorney who's on retainer that I know like you said, can't get a hold of her at 2:30 in
Yeah.
the morning.
Yeah.
But I know how my attorney, like you said, you got an attorney. I trust my attorney. I know how my
Sure.
attorney get down,
Sure.
and there's nothing against any other attorney, but I know what my attorney's done.
Y'all
You know what I mean?
Y'all been through the trenches together.
Right?
For sure.
Can people using the
Yeah.
service still do that, or how does that work
Yeah,
out?
absolutely, man. So if you have somebody that you want to
That's a good question.
recommend to get in our network, man, refer them to us. We'll do the background check. We'll make sure they're in good standing with the state bar. We make sure they know what they're doing with the good win loss ratio. We'll figure out what their fees are, what they typically charge, and we'll get them under contract, man. So yeah, absolutely we can. And if I was
Now,
you
now, what
guys,
if they're not under contract? Do we have to stay with your attorney through the process, or can I switch over and say, "Hey, glad y'all got me out of
Yeah.
this, out the jail, blah blah blah,"
yeah. So at
but
that
I'm gonna go with so and so?
And then at that point, you would like, look, I want KJ as my attorney. We're going to go interview KJ and say, hey, man, do you want to be part of our network, man? And what would you usually charge you? And, we'll figure out fees and then we'll get them under contract under that point and just pay them out at that point. So you can pick your own attorneys. You can even pick 2 different attorneys in our network. Like, let's say John Doe comes out and I'm like, yeah, dog, he used to try to bully me in high school. I can't respect this kid. Let me go ahead and get Jane Doe over here.
Right.
And I can swap through the network and everything's going to be covered. So we have flexibility, we have options and all that good stuff too.
So they still have to be part of the network
To be, yes.
for the coverage. Okay.
Yep. So we've actually had attorneys literally just get in the network just to get their fees paid.
Okay.
And then they just like, okay, well, take me out the network. I just want to keep doing my own freelance stuff. That's
Gotcha.
fine.
So
Okay.
y'all gonna make it, and like
That's good to know. I'm try
That's-
to see if I can.
Yeah, for sure.
that's definitely good to know, because like my mom's house burnt down 3 or 4 years ago, and my homeboy, shout out to Rodney Jenkins, I'm gonna get the name wrong, but constructive services. They came out and she didn't have no headaches, right? Like he took care of everything, and she didn't have to deal with the insurance people. She didn't have to deal with none of that. She just talked to them, talked to the person that was dealing with it, and she didn't have to deal with the insurance because they be on some crap.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like, what y'all try to do, try to make it easy for the client. Like,
Yeah.
because you're already under a stressful situation,
Right.
already under this, you know what I'm saying? Just a lot of stuff going on. But it seemed like y'all try to work with your clients and, you
Yeah.
know, to try to get them, like, even if they want to get their lawyer in, maybe family member, you know how that goes,
Yeah.
and come in, y'all make it so it's easy.
Yeah, we just want to take that burden off your shoulders, man. You're going through enough mentally and emotionally and hopefully not physically. The last thing you want to do to break you, as you guys know, money rule the world, man.
Right.
You want to be able to take that financial burden away from you, man. So the way we got created, man, funny enough, our owner, just billionaire, just stupid, filthy rich, lives across the street from like Mark Cuban in Dallas, right?
Okay.
He has a bunch of different business endeavors, really, really smart guy. He was actually taking a class in Texas, and not USCCA, but another one of these companies went in there and said they tried to fear tactic him. You're stupid if you don't sign up, and if you don't sign up, you don't have $50,000 in the bank just because of this, and you're not gonna do it. Have no idea who they
Not knowing
talking
who
to.
you talking to.
So our owner just popping up a business, and she's like, "Okay, cool. You want to piss me the fuck off? Cool. What we're gonna do? I'm gonna figure out everything good that you do,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna multiply that by 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna find out everything bad you do and kick that to the curb,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna charge half the price."
Mm.
So if you notice, a lot of these other companies we're like a third of the price, but we cover more. Like
Right.
that's that basis because we really want to help people out, man.
Got you.
And we're very profitable and all that good stuff, but we want to do everything the right way. Guns are expensive, ammo is expensive, training is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing we want you to do is have to pick between buying a box of ammo or paying for our little $10 a month thing.
Right.
So the one thing, so is because you're gonna is so what the how much is the premium service or the premium package?
Yeah, and that varies state by state. In Michigan, okay, pull this up for you real quick. You guys know I travel a lot, man. I have to go through all this, man.
And constructive services is the homeboys. When he hear this podcast, he gonna be pissed. He like, man, you got my company wrong. I'm
Right.
sorry, Gene. I'm sorry, Rodney.
Yeah, so that premium individual in Michigan and majority of the other states, I want to say in about 40 other states, we're $21.95 a month for the premium or $240 for the year. Good thing with that premium individual is we cover you with all the bells and whistles in all 50 states. And most importantly, man, we use local attorneys only. So let's say we travel to like Florida or, Texas, we're going to use our local attorney. And like I said, we cover you for any legal use of force. Let's say for whatever reason you want to go to Taste Fest in Taste of Chicago, whatever. You go out there, you can't bring your gun, you bring a knife, you get into something. We still cover you out there because we cover any legal use of force. and we cover your bail bonds up to $250,000, lost wages. I'm a huge mental health advocate. We cover your counseling. We cover lost wages, your expert witness, expert investigators, expungement, red flag is covered with everything as well.
That's what's up.
And our app is pretty awesome as well.
So this is the premium. How much is the family? The family plan is okay. I see it right there.
Yep.
$38.90. Yeah.
And the family plan is awesome, man, because it covers you, your significant other, whatever that may be. We don't ask questions. Don't have to be married, but the great thing about it is the minors are covered in the household, outside the house, 17 and under. You have other companies that will only cover spouse only and
Right.
in the home only.
Right.
It's like, God forbid you let your wife have a life and go out, right?
Right.
No.
Because otherwise you.
Shit, my wife needed more than me.
Because otherwise,
Goddamn
like they're
straight.
covered, but you got to pay an extra fee for the coverage
And
on top of.
sounds like
the
some
regular,
insurance add on, don't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. With that family plan, it covers, like I said, the minors too, 17 and under. So we've had a couple cases where, I don't know if you guys ever been to Texas. I'm about 6'4",
Oh, yeah.
260.
Bro, I've been to Texas twice,
yeah.
and no,
Yeah.
Love that.
twice, and every time it's always been something.
Yeah,
like
so
something
it's
like
interesting
literally
down there.
something about popping off.
So, I'm 6'4", 260. I'm about the average size of a 12-year-old down there, right? I don't know what it is with them Texas boys.
That's
but
football country down there.
Yeah.
They breed them boys.
God's gun in football, bro. That's all it is, right?
That's it.
So one of our members had a family plan. And he had a 12-year-old that's the average size of a 12-year-old, right? Just a little scrawny 5'7", 120 pounds soaking wet. He's getting bullied by the football team. They chase him around. He takes his backpack off and cracks the quarterback in the face and breaks his jaw like 2 weeks before a championship game or something like that. So everybody is up in
This
arms.
is a what if, or this is
This is legit.
oh wow,
Yeah.
okay.
So we cover the minors too. So he got covered because he was in
Right.
self-defense.
Right.
It was 5 guys, 10 times his size, and
Right.
he hurt somebody, and we covered him criminally. They tried to sue him civilly. Shout out, we never lost anything civil, but we covered that as well.
What do you have in his backpack? A bowling ball?
Hey, if he did,
Hey,
it's
that
legal.
that lunch
Two
box,
bricks? Right.
that lunchbox is food he ain't eat because his
Right.
mama made it. It was
He might have been a little nerdy,
Right.
Had a couple of them textbooks back in the day. You know how they used to be.
Right. Them thick boys.
Yeah.
Big boy. Now let me ask you this. This I don't know. What about enhancements to firearms? Did that come up in like?
That's a good
Do
one.
you know or heard of that?
That's a
could
good
pop
one.
up in
I'm
like
gonna
some
let you.
cases?
I'm gonna let you answer it because that's a good
'Cause
one. You do get those questions.
Because
too.
I get them all the time.
I get some homies that look, man. I don't, my carry gun. I don't do nothing to just
Yeah.
in case. But I guess it goes back to because y'all pay for expert witness and like expertise in certain areas where they can come in and talk about why you got enhancements, why you got this. But just talk about that a little bit.
And I'll start this off by saying I'm incredibly biased when it comes to that. Shout out John Correa again. He says if you don't have a dot on your gun right now, you pretty much carrying it Amish style, right? You kind of got to get with the times, man. But the biggest thing is I'm not carrying my firearm to cause anybody harm. But God forbid if something happens, I want to have every advantage that I have to be as accurate and precise as possible. If I have a dot on my firearm, I want to make sure I'm hitting a target to save my life and not be under duress and hit little Timmy in the background, right? I want to have less of a trigger pull because I don't want to have to jerk because I'm in fear and I mess around and miss. Everything I do with my firearm is to become more proficient at it. You want to start doing that. Like, what are we going to stop capping cars and going at 70 miles an hour or going in the third gear? Or what else do you want to stop? Like, I'm doing it for A, my enjoyment, B, my training, and if I ever choose to shoot competitively, I want to be accurate and be proficient with it. I think out of all my guns, I have quite a collection. I think I only have 2 naked firearms, man. I call them naked. No alterations, no nothing, just out the box, man. And those things get dust on them. Honestly, I carry to protect myself, protect my family, and I'm doing it not to be aggressive, but I'm doing it to give myself the best protection and best case scenario. Now, some people will argue, and some instructors, I go back and forth with it. Well, if you're doing that, they're going to say you intended to kill somebody, da, da, da. I say, well, if you're feeding into that, then you're feeding into the, oh, yeah, well, why are you carrying a gun then?
Right.
It's a rabbit hole that I don't think anybody needs to go down. So, and I'm not, whatever you guys say on this stance, I respect it, but that's just how I personally view it.
Same here.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it because I'm improving disproving the gun, but also to give me every advantage that I need.
See, man, and what I think where those questions and those things come from too, is because people will hear certain things, and it's not that it's not true, but people got to understand prosecutors' jobs.
Yeah.
Just to get that conviction.
Yeah, and how they get their job.
And how they do it.
They don't apply. They get elected.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's about things and tactics you can use to get that. So when I get some of them questions and I have to try to explain this, I explain it the way I do, and I use the OJ case as a prime example of that. You know what I'm saying? Feel it how you feel it. My personal feeling, and then just from the evidence and just looking, OJ did it.
My guy.
You know what I'm saying? OJ did it, flat out.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
OJ did it.
Juice
Here
did it.
on Pop Culture.
You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, back in the day, you like, nah, man, Juice ain't, blah, blah. But as you get older, you really look at everything, and you like, man, he did that shit.
Oh, for
But
sure.
my point about it is, it's like, okay, he did it, and the evidence showed it, but he got off. And how did he get off? Because the prosecution was lacking. And his defense attorney was not just the dream team, but it was dream team for a reason. They proved a shadow of a doubt that there was a doubt that he couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
And literally, that's how he got off.
Yeah,
if it don't fit, you must have quit.
Right. They basically sensationalized and hypnotized the jury to like, yeah, you know what? Maybe he didn't do it.
And it's crazy because the biggest attorney was Johnny Cochran, but what's the other attorney? It was the
talking about the Kardashian, Rob Kardashian.
No, the other one.
I know who you're talking about.
The B.
I can't think of his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so my dad.
Shapiro.
Yeah.
Shapiro.
So my dad's he's a big firearms attorney in the area. You know, Terry Johnson. He studied it, and that's why I think that made him the dog who he is today. But he says that guy that doesn't get the credit.
Mm-hmm.
Now Johnny Cochran and the Kardashian gets the credit, but the other guy's
Shapiro boy.
That's the one that was putting in that work, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's that junkyard dog, and OJ had a lot of money, and that's what people don't forget.
Right.
Like, he got off, like, oh, because he's famous. I'm like,
nah.
This was a black man, and at that time in the area, like, they was trying to put him under.
Trying to put him under.
So, you know, to have that much money at your disposal and get that dream team, it cost them a pretty penny. And that's why I always say people like Firearms Legal Protection, that's why it's so important, bro.
That's what's up.
It can give you that dream team
to fight against it. Because
$10 a month.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, that's where, but I think that's where that whole argument of the enhanced gun comes from. Where you did that, you made it more lethal, and you did this, and you was trying to do, and it's like, no, that's some old verbiage that a prosecutor will try to tell the court just so it make you look bad, when in actuality, we know otherwise. And a good attorney, good defense attorneys, you know what I'm saying, wink, wink, will, you know, be able to fight that and then not let that shit go through to get you convicted.
And that expert witness will be able to attest to that. And it's crazy, man, because like me, I'm real petty. I'll ask I'll talk to the prosecutor, you carry a gun? Yeah. What do you carry? Oh, why not a single shot revolver, right? Because that's, if you're not out here trying to kill anybody, right? Why are you getting, a regular firearm? Why are you getting a Glock? Why are you getting some with a magazine? Why do you have more rounds on things? Like, I will argue that to the day I die, man. And, there's no disrespect to any other instructors that feel like that, but hey.
Hey, I just want to say, if I call how many phone calls did the people FLP get in Alabama when them people was out there swinging them chairs? Like, look, I had to defend myself. I had this white chair. Was it awful?
I don't know. I don't get the phone calls, but you know what? I'm gonna go ask.
Hey, call your people. Ask how many phone calls they get. Like, I had to protect myself with this chair the other day.
Bro, it's been wild. Every class I've been to since said, "What would you protect yourself with?" I got a chair.
Dog, the memes and the internet has been winning with that. Dog. I even seen
undefeated.
I even seen one, dog, where a cop was on a stop and the cop had the chair out, like license and registration. I'm like, dog,
bro,
the
dude that pop out
said they disclosed the chair in his back seat when he got pulled over.
Yeah, that was hilarious, dog.
I got it on me. When they walk out with the chair hanging from the shorts, I got it on me. But how Davis had the ones like, man, look at my armory. I got the FN chair with the scope. I got this one. Got the switch. He opened it. Look. This that young boy with the split. Look, put the guns down. Put the chairs up. I was dying laughing, bro.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I was dying laughing.
Internet been winning with that.
They got throw the hat in the air. Throw the hat in the air.
That's that signal now.
That's that signal.
That's that signal. Toss of that boy.
But look, in the water, bro, that had me in tears.
They call him Aquaman.
Aquaman.
That dog, I was undefeated. But look, Spence, I'm glad you came on the show, man. I'm glad.
Rapid fire real quick.
You gonna do what?
You want to do rapid fire real quick? Or you want to close them out.
You got rapid fire? I can't.
I thought maybe you did. I mean, we can.
All right, go ahead. I got one. So rapid fire. So rapid fire is, I ask you. So you get two choices. You just gotta just right off the dome,
Yep.
right? Ain't no thinking about it, whatever.
Yep.
So that's we call it a rapid
All right,
fire.
bet.
So go ahead.
All
I
right.
got one. And then
So how many you going to do? 5 questions? How you
Five
wanna-
questions.
Okay.
I bet.
So we'll kind of alternate then. All
All
right.
right.
So I'm gonna go guns. Glock or Sig?
Sig.
KJ?
I'm gonna go rifle. Daniel or Knights.
Daniel.
Okay. So you said you're big on fantasy. Okay. Fantasy. Football. I mean, not football. Running backs. CMC, Chris McCaffrey, or Saquon Barkley?
Saquon. He's gonna be healthy.
Okay.
Saquon, he gonna be healthy.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go to football. I'm gonna say Lions or New Orleans.
Saints, baby. Who that?
Okay, I got
Respect.
One more. Beyonce or Rihanna?
You know what? I'm gonna go Rihanna. Just because Beyonce is so idolized, I don't even realize how ghetto her name is for real.
How ghetto her name is for real.
For real.
But I got one.
Beyonce for another day.
Right.
I got one more.
Bonus boy.
Bonus boy. You ready?
Yes, sir.
FLP or USCCA?
FLP, Firearms, Legal Protection. Feel me all day, every day, not even a second. Ask me again real quick. Ask me one more time.
FLP.
My
Okay.
bad, my bad.
Or USCCA.
FLP, my bad.
So look, no shade on USCCA. Hey, like he said, he pushed it to both parties. He can get you some insurance for sure. Like I said, I want to thank Spence for coming out and talking about FLP, educating the people. We talk gun talk, we talk kicking it. Just out here giving information to the culture for the culture.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, I want to thank Bear for being here in his busy schedule on the ones and twos.
Always. We give it to ourselves.
Give it to
KJ for having the platform for us. So we can
Okay,
do it.
yeah, I brought an idea. You trying like, man, I ain't got time, but now you on here with me, so
Right, making time.
making time. I
Making
appreciate
everybody
it.
else mad, but hey, making time.
So Spence, look, give me all the information so I can post it up on all the your social media platforms, the website, everything. So when people tune in, they can look, they can click the link and go check out FLP. Like I said, Firearms Legal Protection. I think if you carry a firearm, it's a necessity that you have some insurance. Because like you said, what if something happened? There it is right there in itself. So you need some protection. You need somebody that's going to cover your six in a situation like that. So that's it from us, man. So look, gang recognize gang. We recognize you. So please recognize us. Share it, post it, repost it, love it, like it, and we out.
Peace.
Peace.